Hi everybody, how's it going? So my whole family is there and it's gonna be very difficult for me to record anything without a lot of rah, rah, rah sounds all over the place. So that's what I'm using, my headphones. So I hope it's sounding about right. And here we go. What I wanted to talk about today is something that it's really difficult for me to phrase properly, but it has to do with how much we value when you're making a moral, ethical judgment on this consumer society, the way people earn their money, make their money, versus the way people spend their money. So for that to make actual sense, when I'm going to explain it right now, I need that you kind of stay with me for a second when it comes to, of course, veganism. And it's not about morals, but it's also about morals, because this is a moral judgment. But even if we just looked at how it affects us in a environmental sense, like the meat, dairy, egg, fish industry, how it affects the environment in comparison with not using that. So just to be clear with that, we could be feeding billions of people more if we were just changing from animal-based to plant-based products. A lot of the pollution that we'd have would go away, most of it actually, and in various senses. The seas, the oceans would be healed very quickly if you just stopped detracting their life from it. And there's many other factors that would go way better. The alcohol industry, if we just got rid of it and we could just be happy and have fun the way we did when we were children without drugs, that would be great. Same with most of the pharmaceutical industry, a lot of the military industry, bullfighting, and many other hobbies that are completely not good for humanity, for the planet, and all of us. Okay, so once we have made that clear, that is pretty much things we would be better not spending our money at, so that people didn't have to form industries around it. If we understand that, then it makes sense to say that we're making a bit poor judgments when it comes to judging how people earn money, make money, and how money use in general in our society. So I'm just gonna picture two cases. The first one, so that you see what I mean. The first one is a person that earns their money in sort of a filthy, shady way, makes a little bit of some scams, not too big, not to harm people too much, but just take money from people in a way that they probably shouldn't, right? So he makes he doesn't get rich, but he makes a good money out of that. But then when it's time to spend that money, he's vegan, so he doesn't contribute to most of the environmental destruction. He doesn't murder, he doesn't rape, he doesn't kill babies, he doesn't torture, and he doesn't have beings denied their natural freedom and any sort of pleasure and natural connection with each other, right? So he also doesn't smoke, he also doesn't do alcohol and other drugs, he doesn't spend money on stupid things that only pollute the environment. He's very simple in that he just makes a lot of trips and he buys good things for others, right? When it's time to spend, he's actually spending his money very consciously with the environment and morals in mind, all right? And then we have the other side of this scenario, which is a person who earns their money faithfully, no shady tricks, very straightforward. Everybody knows what he's doing. You could even say that the way he's making money is progress for humanity, is even deep cleaning the environment, something of that sort. That you would make a good judgment of that, all right? You just make a good judgment that we are happy, we're fortunate to have him in our society, right? When it comes to how he makes his money, right? But then when you look at how he spends his money, and this is what I'm actually talking about, he consumes very nasty media. He consumes, of course, animal products all the time. He buys animal coats, and he gets bullfighting shows. Of course, he pollutes in that way, he murders, rapes in that way. He also doesn't care what destruction comes with all the items, cheap items that he purchases. And in general, he's very unaware and spends money liberally without looking at the effects and how asking the world to produce that thing actually affects the whole thing. What I'm just saying, and I'm gonna leave it with that, is that we would judge the first person as a bad component of our society, while we judge the second person as a good component of our society. But the second one has the biggest murder count, the biggest environmental destruction. Actually, when it comes to exploiting humans in the meat, dairy, egg industry, the worst for human well-being and fairness at work and all that. He makes humanity, he consumes alcohol and all of that too, so he makes humanity spend resources and time and energy in advertising, all of those stupid things. So he makes a way worse contribution overall, but the biggest contribution we make today, I think, comes from where we spend our money. Not so much on where and how we get it. So that's something we should bear in mind. Of course, both things are very important, but by no means, this is my opinion, but I think you can agree with me with that, by no means deciding how good our money habits are, how good we are, is not only set around how we earn the money at all. How we spend money, what we ask the world to produce, build industries around, and spend its resources and money and time on, that is also very important when it comes to judging a person's impact on the planet and on humanity. All right? Oof. It was difficult for me because I've tried this video a few times, but I think now I kind of got it. So I hope you did too. I hope you got the idea and it wasn't too long. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Happy New Year, and I'll see you tomorrow.